If you live in California, you're probably familiar with Prop 13. For those who don't, it's a 1978 law that caps property tax at 1% of the value that is assessed at the time that you bought the house. So if you buy a home for $500,000, which good luck to you here, but just for simple math purposes, your property tax bill will be $5,000 a year even if the house goes up in value to $1 million just a few years later. This has obviously been great for people who bought very modestly priced homes in the 1990s and early 2000s. But if you were too busy finger painting in preschool to buy a house at the time, or you weren't even born yet, it sucks because California's current housing crisis isn't just that there's not enough homes, it's that a ton of homes are financially locked in place, and Prop 13 is a big reason why. Since Prop 13 caps property tax increases for current owners, it actively disincentivizes moving, because moving means that your taxes will reset, and usually at a higher price, so people will be less likely to move and incur a higher annual property tax bill. California's own legislative analyst office found that annual home sales turnovers dropped from about 16% before Prop 13 to just 5% decades later. And now with the explosive rise in home values since the pandemic, this turnover rate is probably even smaller. And now add in the modern problem, the mortgage rate lock. So even if you were willing to incur a higher property tax bill, if you have a 2 or 3% mortgage that you locked in 2019, you're not going to be willing to trade it for 6 or 7% today. So yeah, California doesn't just have a housing shortage, it specifically has a turnover crisis. If there was a healthy rate of turnover, housing prices would rise at a much slower rate, just because of the basic principles of supply and demand. But consider the Prop 13 property tax cliff that homeowners would have to scale for switching houses, combined with high interest rates locking in mortgages, and the market freezes. Supply becomes almost non-existent outside of new construction, and prices will continue to rise. And that's not to say that I don't like Prop 13. As a homeowner, I love Prop 13, but it doesn't mean that it's not a flawed system. But there is actually a possible solution. There's a little known loophole for Prop 13, and it's Prop 19, though it only benefits seniors. Shocker. It allows for homeowners over the age of 55 to transfer their prior home's assessed value to a new home anywhere in the state, regardless of if it's higher in value. The thought being that if a senior sells their home and decides to move to a nice cozy retirement community, even if the new house that they have is a higher value, their tax base will be what they were paying before. If this option were expanded to all current homeowners, even at a modified version where maybe say each dollar over your current assessed valuation is instead valued at 50%, it would dramatically reduce the golden handcuff effect created from Prop 13's property tax lock-in. But let me know what you think in the comments, or if you want a deeper dive into California's Proposition 13. And if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe for more.